Connected N7KC. Connected WU7N.
Good evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, 87ZYM. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of radio amateurs that take to the airways with fast scan television. We have a repeater located up on Cougar Mountain. We transmit on 70 centimeters. It's a crossband repeater and spits out images at 1.2 gigahertz. So far checked in this evening, KD7QKU Ron /N7KC. WU7N James. Is there anybody else that would like to check in? Hearing none, we'll pause a few seconds in case somebody needs to make an emergency contact or use this frequency before we get totally underway with our net this evening. Again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. And hearing none, let's see if we can call up Ron, KD7QKU.
If I get on the right frequency, maybe you can call me up. What's the old saying? Just don't call me late for dinner or something like that. So anyway, well, it sure turned out to be a beautiful afternoon. I had a couple little projects to do today. We've been kind of, the Jeep Liberty we've been parking out by the boat, I kind of turned the 12-foot boat, tried to turn it kind of sideways so we can get the car mostly underneath the roof. And in doing that, we have to put it in a little bit crooked. And I think Joanne hit the wall outlet with the front bumper or something. And I had two things plugged into it. So bent the plugs and broke the receptacle. So I went out to get the car. I thought I needed to drive it. It hadn't been driven for about a week. So the battery won't go dead in it. We're going to have to put a little charger on it. And I've got an extra one. I just haven't done that yet. So I decided to put the tow bar on the car and put a few things in it so when we want to go, it'd be kind of ready. And I figured I need to drive it a little bit to charge up the battery. It's got a new battery in it, but it's still, I don't know. Anyway, that's when I noticed the plug-in was broke, so I had to turn the power off and find the plug. Wouldn't you know, I didn't hardly have one. But I finally found one that was used, and I put that in. It needed a 3-prong plug, and I only had a white one, but that was fine. I put it in, and turned the power back on and straightened all the plugs out, plugged everything back in, so I'm back in service again. So I'm trying to think of what else I did today. And I was so sore Monday, we mowed the lawn and weed eated I was going to weed eat the lawn. I like to trim it before I mow it. And I have a steel trimmer, and I got it out and run it for about 15 minutes, and boy, my lower back just starts killing me. So I had sat down and was resting when my friend Al called, and he said, hey, I went down and bought one of those little cordless ones, and I just plugged my battery into it, and he said it's real lightweight, and he said it does the job. So I looked up on my phone, and sure enough, I have a Ryobi drill, and I have a couple of batteries, and they make one for Ryobi. In fact, they make 2 or 3 of them. They take my battery, so I went down to Home Depot, and lo and behold, they had a little bitty, tiny, lightweight one. So I bought it, $69.95, brought it home, plugged my battery in it. It worked just fine. If I'd have had that in the beginning, I would have been in much better physical shape. So then Joanne asked me how I was doing, and I went, not so good. And so she put on her old clothes. This was after lunch, and she came out and fired up the lawnmower. So she's mowed about 90%.
KU?
I guess I timed it out. Well, anyway, my leg and back was killing me after the second day when I fertilized and put some moss killer on my lawn. That I couldn't hardly stand to sit in the recliner last night and watch the Mariners game. And then they were losing anyway, so I guess enough for me. If I timed out the repeater, that's too much. All right, let's go over to N7KC.
Okay, this is N7KC Lee in Port Angeles, and I am on Echolink, as you can probably tell, and I'm working with Ron on Skype, so I see him and I hear the 08 machine through Skype. I also hear it through Echolink, separated by about a second. At first it's a little confusing, but I've gotten used to that arrangement, so it doesn't bother me really. Although the truth is, I don't hear the Echolink when I'm talking. The only time I hear both of them is when I'm not talking. I'm not transmitting. So, nice day here. Beautiful this afternoon. I had a eye doctor's appointment this morning, and it was dilated by 2 different people there. Actually 3 times, and my eyes, now that was at 8 o'clock this morning, and my eyes just started to recover here about an hour ago. So I've been stumbling around here with everything fuzzy all over and sunglasses on. So I seem to be okay now. Let's see, I don't have much else. James is on. I see his name pop up on Echolink, so I think he's there. I haven't actually heard him talk, but I think he's there. And hi, Dave. Good to see you tonight on the stream. The stream didn't kick off until about 1 minute before 8. It used to start at 5 till, pretty reliably. Now it's just 1 minute till, and then it turned on. For a while, I thought we weren't going to have a stream tonight. Okay, that's it from here. This is N7KC in Port Angeles, third party. With video, courtesy of Echolink and KD7QKU over at Eastgate. Back to you, Dave. Go ahead.
Well, thanks for joining the net, N7KC Lee. Let's go over to James, WW7N, see what he has to offer.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Dave. I've got kind of an interesting situation here. When the net first started, I had a huge delay with Echolink, and I could, I think, only transmit on Echolink. I had to receive on a receiver. When Lee just spoke, the Echolink and the real-time receiver were almost in complete synchronous. Now there's a tiny enough of a delay I can just hear it out the corner of my ear, but hopefully not enough to jam up communications. I just sent a text message to Lee on Echolink. I don't know if you got that or not. Anyway, $70 weed trimmer. Well, it sounds like you got quite a bargain there, an even bigger bargain if you were able to get away with buying that weed trimmer maybe for your wife as an anniversary present. I'm not sure. You would clarify that next time around. Lee, I'm glad to hear your eyes are finally okay. That's always a little bit spooky when something happens that messes up your vision for a while. It really makes you appreciate your vision. So anyway, what I have been doing this week, usually this is a big month for me because it's conference month, but because of the way the conferences fell, this is conference week, really intensive. I'm going to Partners in Preparedness in the middle of the week, and then this past weekend I was doing Com Academy, some really interesting information there that probably will be of interest to everyone, and I'll tell you about that next time around. So this is James, WU7N. I'm going to turn it back to net control.
WU7N, thanks for that presentation. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, 87ZYM. Well, here in Lake City this evening, I've got 57 degrees outside, so it's been a little bit warmer than I would have thought at this time of the evening. No rain happening, but a great afternoon. There's the sunshine here. Able to go out and enjoy that. But with all of the rain we've had in the last 10 days, my lawn says, mow me. So as great as it is to keep everything green around here, it does affect your yard too. And finding out I'm going to have to mow before the weekend's over. But luckily, got good weather report for this weekend, so hopefully have some nice dry weather to do that in. For the day, had some errands to run, and traffic was rather light on the streets when I went out this afternoon around 1 o'clock, so that was pretty good. I had to go to Costco, get some food, and one of their delicious hot dogs and a drink while I was there. Came back home and had some paperwork I had to do and got that out of the way, and took a little bit of a nap later this afternoon. And looking forward to the net this evening, so here we are. And again, this is Dave, KD7ZYM. So let's go up to KD7QKU, Ron.
Oh boy, KD7QKU here. Well, James, I was talking the other day, and I heard some people talk, and they said they were on this emergency preparedness stuff. They were really worried about the people that lived in Seattle in the apartments and the condominiums. When they're out of electricity and we're out of water, they wondered where they were going to go take a crap. The rest of us can take a shovel and go out in the backyard and dig a hole. But those people down there, they're going to be SOL. So they think the homeless go poop in the street. Wait till the 500,000 of them go poop in the street. So for about 6 months. So when you go to your emergency preparedness meeting this week, ask them how they're going to take care of the toilet needs for all the people that live in apartments and condominiums when there's no power and no electricity. So anyway, well, with that, I won't time it out. I'll turn it over to Lee. 77KC, go ahead.
There we go. I have the system, the timer going and whatnot. N7KC here, Lee in Port Angeles. Well, you know, it's I don't know whether you mentioned not having any water, but you know, if there's a big time quake or something like that, I imagine the water supply will be interrupted to most every place in Seattle. Bellevue, Goodnight, you guessed it. You don't know where. Anyway, it's going to be, it's just going to be terrible. That's what it's going to be, you know. I mean, all of a sudden you revert to primitive campground conditions, and that is going to test everybody's nerves. And of course, then there's the problem of trucking food in for 500,000 people. Boy, boy, look out. Anyway, okay, well, I've not mowed my yard yet. I thought I would yesterday, and I thought I would again today. But you know, we've had quite an interesting dew in the morning, really, really wet. And I won't mow the grass until it's perfectly dry. So I was in no shape to do it today anyway with my eyes. I just hunkered around inside. I did go out just before dinner and I popped some dandelions. I got a half a bag of them. I'm walking around the yard every day. Most of the yard doesn't have any, but I do have areas down along the main street where there are some. And I pop those that are bloomed, so I don't want to let them go to seed, you know, and blow around. So I'm trying to catch them before that. And so yesterday it was dewy in the morning, and then in the afternoon it hadn't dried out yet. So I didn't try to mow it, but it's ready. One of the big-time gardeners over here who has an article in the Sunday paper says that everybody mows their yards too soon and too short, because you want to let them go to seed, let them get high enough to go to seed before you mow them, and then he says mow them high. If you mow them high, then you'll have a lot better yard than if you trim it right down to the ground. So I'm trying to listen to him. Anyway, I'm out of time. This is 7KC. Port Angeles, Lee, third party. Courtesy of Echo Link and Skype. Back to you, Dave. Go ahead.
Well, thank you, M7KC, and thanks to Ron for E7QKU bringing your videos here this evening. So let's move on to James, WW7N. Mr. Preparedness.
Okay, oh, got to turn that echo down. I'm back where I was at the start of the net. I can hear everybody, and then I couldn't. Dave, you dropped out. I think this is an echo link problem, probably nothing with your equipment. And so now I'm back to transmitting on echo link and listening on the handheld. And just as a correction here, guys, I just looked this up. King County has 2.19 million unflushed toilets. Actually, probably more than that if you consider some of those people have more than one bathroom. So yeah, that's a major problem. But that's actually factored into the whole emergency plan. What do you do with all of that sewage temporarily, at least until you can get those people out? Because that's pretty much, I think, what you have to do. You have to get the folks out. Because I think that was a problem during Katrina. Because you can't have people living in just a giant open toilet. You get into cholera and all kinds of other problems with that. So on that positive note, I'll say rest assured that has been thought of. That was a little pun there for those of you who read carefully when you go into a bathroom stall. But the thing I thought might be of interest to people is what I see coming as a transition from land mobile radio to cellular technology. Today, I saw Verizon has a little magic box. They connect your land mobile radio, like a radio you see police or firemen carrying, via a special connector to their box, which connects you to the cellular network, and then it goes via virtual private network to wherever your repeater site is. Or it can go into the cellular network to very specific cellular subscribers. So you could have someone speaking on a land mobile radio and going to cell phones that are essentially configured with an app to be like walkie-talkies. And of course, cell phones are relatively inexpensive and everyone owns one anyway, versus LMR radios, which can be $1,000 or $1,500 a piece, depending on what you want. There was also a lecturer at Com Academy with kind of the same theme, and and I found that to be it's a very interesting lecture. How the technology is just kind of changing the face of everything right now, very quickly. So anyway, if anybody's heard anything about that, let me know. As far as rain, yeah, it has been very wet, and if we're going to get a dry spell this weekend, that's good, because I'm going to need to do something on several projects that require dry weather, and I'm certainly ready for a couple days of dry weather to get those done. But I'm so looking forward to it as soon as I see a forecast with a couple of days out. Okay, this is WW7ATS. I'm going to assume I timed out.
WW7N. Yes, you did time out, and this is Dave, 87CYM. Well, when it comes to emergency supplies, I've got basically food for a month at my place, so I'm set there, 150 gallons of water that's usable, and I do have a porta potty, just in case that becomes a problem of using a toilet because we have insufficient water to flush it, or the sewers are clogged, or who knows what will happen if we have a major event here in Seattle. But also have tents and a lot of cooking gear that runs on gas or propane and alcohol, so at least I can cook and have food available and water. The problem with a lot of that dehydrated food, you need water to undehydrate it so you can eat it. So anyway, do have all of that available, and a tent set up in the backyard if I have to use that. So anyway, I think I'm about as prepared as I can be, but hopefully we won't have to go through this. But being prepared is always a good thing. Yeah, let's see, temperature is still holding at 57 degrees outside, and being a little lighter, almost to 8 o'clock now in the evening, so that's getting longer and longer for light being out there. Oh, let's see, speaking of light, listening to the news tonight, the Washington State Legislature still hasn't decided if they want to petition for full-time daylight savings time for the state of Washington, which has to be ratified by Congress. But California and Oregon have passed legislation to bring that to the federal level to see what happens. So we'll have to see how that develops. Well, that's all I've got for right now. So let's go on to KD7QKU.
Okay, this is KD7QKU again. Well, I heard, I guess, that one part of the House or Senate had passed the bill, and they were waiting on the other one to see if they were going to pass it. But it kind of sounded like it was going to be probably be passed. And then, like Dave said, we'd have to wait for the U.S. Congress, I guess, to okay it or something. But not to harp on the going to the bathroom, but the guy was saying that, everybody used to have pots when they had outdoor toilets, and so you'd use the pot if you had to get up in the middle of the night. He said, especially here in the Pacific Northwest where it rains a lot. So he said we could overcome that problem if we got a 5-gallon bucket, and then he said, they have this foam insulation that you put around pipes. It's split on one side, you can put it over the pipe. Well, he said you could cut it at the right length, and you could put it on the top of the bucket, then you could sit on it. So if you had to go in the middle of the night, you wouldn't have to get up and put your clothes on it. Go out in the rain to find your hole in the backyard. Well, anyway. So let's see what else is going on. I got my mind stuck on that subject. Let's see, Dave was talking about daylight savings time. I guess I already addressed that. So it's not too much going on around here. I guess I did see a guy that was mowing lawns, and so I stopped, asked him to give me a bid. He gave me a bid, and I don't know if I'm going to have him or not. The kid, Isaac, that I had for quite a while, he decided to stop doing it last fall. And a guy I used to have do it, he charges almost too much, so I don't know. Joanne thinks we can do it, but I don't think I can do it all summer. In the summer, there isn't much to do, that's for sure, because it all dies anymore. Our yard's half dead. We don't have only half as much grass as we used to. Anyway, so maybe Lee's thought of something to talk about. We kind of have a small group tonight. It goes around kind of quick. N7KC, go ahead.
Okay, I have to wait until the little button on my phone turns dark. Okay, N7KC, Lee in Port Angeles. Well, first let me say to James that you're getting into Cougar. Holy smokes, your signal on the stream is just dynamite. I mean, I can't read the really fine print, but most of it, when you put something up there on the screen, it's really good. And Dave, your idea of a porta potty is a great idea. And for Ron, we might need 12, 15 5-gallon buckets, depending on how long. Yeah, just make sure you get them with lids. Oh, my. Well, let's see. What did I... Oh, last night I had my longest CWQ, so yeah, about a half hour with a guy over in Pendleton, Oregon. And he had a really nice signal, and he said I did too. And he was 63, and he likes to do CWs. I've been hunting 3 or 4 years, but he's into Morse code big time. Anyway, so I was refreshed last night. I was able to actually, they talk about what chewing gum and rubbing your belly at the same time. Well, I've had a difficult time spelling. I can do it effortlessly on a typewriter, but when you want to send a word by Morse code, that's another problem all by itself. But I'm getting better at it, and so I'll tell you, this stuff is just flat out exciting. I don't think I've ever done anything on the radio that you just don't know how it's going to go. You don't know who you're going to be talking to, if you're going to be able to understand them, if they can understand you, if you're going to goof up somehow. So it's quite a thrill, and I'm having a really good time. So, and I'm pretty well set up. My antenna I'm just so pleased with it. Cost me almost nothing to do. It was simple to put up, and boy, the performance is really nice. Oh dear. What else do I have? I have a pad of paper here. I'm trying to jot things down. But I think Dave's idea of a porta potty is a good one. I think we'll go take care of that. I ran out of time. This is N7KC, Lee in Port Angeles. Back to net. Go, Dave.
Connected N7KC. Connected WU7N.
Thanks for that, Lee. Let's move on to James, WU7N, who I understand is now connected.
Well, Dave, I'm always very well connected. So, Lee, a question I had for you is what bands do you operate CW on? I'm wondering if there is a way. I believe you're Port Angeles, and I think NVIS ideal ranges about between 30 and 300 miles. So I'm wondering if you and I could communicate via CW. That would be an interesting experiment. The other thought I had on CW is I remember years ago someone told me if you really want to get good with code, ironically, get a keyboard, but he said don't get a keyboard that will allow you to buffer characters. And I think in Ham Radio Magazine there was someone that even had a design that used real simple TTL or CMOS logic or something, and you used a keyboard. So in other words, when you push A, you have to wait for A to be finished before it will let you, say, push the next letter, B, and so on. And so what it does with the monitoring jack is it forces you to associate what you're very good at, which is touch typing, and letters, and eventually words, which of course is what you eventually want to get to, with your finger movement and your brain. And I wish someone had told me that much earlier, because I was working government stations where they're still using CW to set up circuits, and until someone gave me that handy tip, I really never got very good at it. And of course, it's been 30 years since I practiced it, so I would have to start all over again. But that's just a thought I have for you, is the keyboard might do you some good, but only if it forces you to wait. It won't let you touch type like you're used to touch typing, and that kind of forces you to eventually get letters and then words. So, interesting hack on typing installation. I've not heard of that one before. That sounds like an excellent one, and I'm going to actually do that, I think. I have lots of buckets around here, but don't know pipe installation. So anyway, with that thought, it's 8:30, and I don't want to call it early for the entire group, but I've got to get up very early, and I only got about 5 hours of sleep last night. So I probably need to go one more round and then bow out, but don't let me stop if people are still going. This is WW7ATS, and there's the ID right there, and let me turn it back to net control.
WW7N, this is KD7BYM. Well, you know, early on when I first got into ham, they had some programs that you could run on your computer that would let you use Morse code. As a matter of fact, I've got a PACRAT 232, which does decipher Morse code. And on the transmitting side of it, it has a spooling mechanism, so when you type your Well, the gator got me. It's about time. Thank you.
Well, go ahead and tell us. You were saying you had something about Morse code.
No, I'd had a device called a PACRAT 232, and what it does is it deciphers the Morse code and puts it up on a screen on your computer so you can see what's incoming with Morse code or a lot of the other different codes that you can utilize. It's sort of a code breaker. But when it comes to transmitting, the device has a spooling mechanism in it. So when you type your letters, instead of, A, B, C, D, and you want to have A, B, C, D come up, it spools that into a memory and then transmits it when you're done transmitting the word. So, and that technology is about 20 years old, so I'm sure it's improved now. And as far as a porta potty for Lee, you might even think about has ramifications. Good to have on a sailboat if you don't have holding tanks on your sailboat for human waste. You can utilize it for your boat as well as home. And so I was able to use it both ways when I had a boat. But now that I don't have a boat, I got it at home. And it's there. The problem would be it's on the boat and I'm home. It's not going to work out too well for me. So anyway, I did manage to find another porta potty and put on the boat where I sold it. So I had two of them. So that's about what's happening here. So let's go on to 87QKU, Ron.
Okay. KD7ZYM in the group, KD72KU. Yeah, we kind of have a small group tonight. I don't know what happened to Jim and Gary and Bob. We haven't heard from Bob for a while. And then Jim down there in Rochester, we haven't heard from him for a long, long time. I was hoping Gary would show up tonight and we'd find out if he got a hold of Rob and figured out how to get the grand screen working. That would be that'd be really nice if you could do that. And like I say, maybe I can talk Richard into buying one. We could get Richard to do it too. We could add one more body to our group. So let's see. I don't know. I was kind of excited over the weekend to see that Tiger Woods won the Masters tournament, golf tournament. I heard that down in Las Vegas, it was a real long shot. And some guy had bet that Tiger Woods would win, and he won, I don't know, $1.5 million or something like that from Las Vegas, and they were crying their eyes out about it. Maybe some other people won besides. So anyway, it was kind of exciting to see him. It's been quite a while since he hadn't won anything real major, but he made a comeback. It's pretty amazing. So I guess we'll go up to Lee and 7KC and see listen to his words of wisdom.
Okay, my button turned black, so I was able to punch it and get the transmitter to go. Excellent. N7KC, Lee in Port Angeles. Okay, number one, the repeater timing out. I'm not sure that it did, because always in the past it sends a TO in Morse code. You know, I mean, of course I'm tuned into that sort of thing, and I hear it, for years. So it'll go TO and then it shuts off, and I have not heard that tonight. And with my arrangement, it's a rule I do. And number two, James, I'd love to do some CW with you. I only have an 80-meter antenna, which I can load on 40, but I don't know how effective it is. It's very effective on 80. So if you've got anything like that, it would really be fun. I'd love to do that. Receiving CW is not my problem. I've been as high as 35 words a minute. But transmitting reliably above 18 or 20 is problematic. But what I'm saying is, if in my head, not reading off of paper, but in my head trying to compose, you get a long word, you know. I know mostly CW you try to abbreviate everything. But since I don't know all the abbreviations, I just sort of tend to go for the long path, so to speak. And then I might get in the middle of it and forget where I was, you know. So then it chops it up pretty bad. Whatnot. The last thing I wanted to mention was, Ron mentioned the old-time pots that people used to have in the house at night. Well, I was raised like that. The house I lived in as a kid had a outhouse, and so they had a pot, and everybody, it was a community pot. Everybody used it. And I remember once, I don't know how old I was. I was in maybe first, second, or third grade or something like that. My grandma was visiting, and in the middle of the night, Grandma dropped her glasses in the pot. And I went to school and I told that story. And my mother, they were all super embarrassed when they heard it was on and so forth. Kids, you know. Well, that's the end of my time. I hear my timer go, so I'm going to send it back to Dave. N7KC, Lee in Port Angeles. Third party. Back to you, Dave.
N7KC, thanks for that. Let's go to James. Is he still with us? If not, he's 73 this.
Corner B.
P7HYB.
I'm here. I'll be in and out, but I heard Ron's question, and yes, I did get hold of Ron today, and I got into the configuration on the grand stream, but I cannot get it to open the window on the oh brother, got a noisy radio in the background. Anyway, you want to hear about it?
We have pictures. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I got into the configuration screen finally. I had a hell of a time getting my laptop to talk to the IP, and finally got the IP established. But now I can't. When I get into the browser window, I cannot get it to work in Firefox. I haven't tried Internet Explorer yet. I guess I'll have to give that a try. But Firefox will not need some kind of a plug-in, and I've got the plug-in, but it doesn't seem to want to do that. So anyway, I'm in and out without information, and we'll see you guys Saturday. No, I won't see you Saturday night. Going to club dance Saturday, club square dance Saturday night. So won't see you. I won't be on the net. Anyway, that's all from me. I'm in and out. Good night. We'll talk to you later. K7HYB.
K7HYB, we got you. And this is Dave again, K87ZYM. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. Is there anything from anyone before we close up the net this evening? Hearing none, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society's net, and we'd like to thank the owners and operators of the 08 machine, the CTAC Repeater Group, for allowing us to use it on Saturdays and Wednesdays between 8 and 9 o'clock for a voice channel for our video transmission. So with that, I'll say good evening to all. At 2040, closing the net. For the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, I'm Dave, 87ZYM. Good evening all.